Hey, good brother, what's going on, man?
What's going on, Andre?
Hey, you already know what's the deal, man.
I like one of your phrases. I'm just trying to stay out the way.
That's it, man. That's the key to life right there. Stay out the way.
This
Let's
is
do
true.
this, man. What's going on? Talk to me, man.
Okay, so this is the inaugural IG Live for at least myself. So we're just gonna have to see how this goes. But 2022 draft recap.
Let's do it.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. We're gonna do the teams in alphabetical order. We've got the great Atlanta Falcons from the top.
All right, let's see. I say the Falcons, for me, they just got rid of Matt Ryan, right? And they signed Marcus Mariota to be their quarterback. I was hoping they would go after Malik Willis. We'll get the Malik Willis later on down the line. But with the draft picks that they made, like a C. They really address certain areas. Calvin Ridley going to be out most of the season for a gambling issue or whatever. You had your franchise quarterback leave. They got talent. Kyle Pitts is a talent. You can build around the nucleus they got, but I'm not really sold on their draft like that. I'll give them a C.
I'm with you. I think that they get a C, potentially even a C minus. I think getting Desmond Ridder in the third round could prove to be a steal.
It could be. But come on, man. Come on. All right. We hanging our hats on third round talents now.
You're digging deep when you got to give them their props on the third round pick. But, the other thing that I liked about what people were saying about this draft for the Falcons was just the fact that this guy, Drake London, not trying to knock him too hard, but when you can't create separation in college, it's going to be a lot harder to create separation.
Them guys in the NFL are just as fast, strong, and big as you. So if you can't get separation from the line of scrimmage, if your route running ain't intact, you're done. If you're not a vertical guy, you're not just an all-out vertical guy like Deshaun Jackson was. Tyreek Hill got route running ability as well with the speed. This guy, he has size. He's a big body receiver, 6'5". He's a big guy. He has a large catch radius. He should be able to get a number of footballs, but I'm not sold on Pac-12 guys, bro. That's just me. It's been for years now. The Pac-12 football players have been trash compared to the SEC, even the ACC and the Big Ten. I don't want to. Now, there's some. You got Herbert in the Chargers, Pac-12. Great quarterback, great future quarterback. But me, personally, I do not like Pac-12 teams, man. I don't like them.
Well, it'd be interesting to see what all of the Oklahoma transplants do at USC this upcoming season.
Lincoln Riley. Oh, man. We'll see. We'll see.
He's pushing that private jet all over the country now.
He do got a private jet? Don't even the university has a private jet. So
that was part of his contract to negotiations, I guess, which was
oh my god,
free reign on the PJ. All right, so you're giving the Falcons a C. I am going to give them a C minus, and the only thing that put them over the top was Desmond Ridder in the third round.
Okay.
All right. Baltimore Ravens.
I like what Baltimore did, man. So they went out. They were going to try to get Jordan Davis. We'll get into him later too. But they got Kyle Hamilton, who's the best safety. And this is how bad the safety position is valued in the NFL. In most drafts, he would have been a top 5 pick. In all the mock drafts I've seen, he was a top 5 guy. He dropped all the way to 14. But they had a great draft haul with him. Who else did they get? They got somebody else, man.
David Ajabo.
Great pick. My man tore his ACL in this pro day. Great pick. You put him opposite side of Jason Oweh from Penn State. We are, bro, they going to have an elite pass rushing for the next 5 to 8 years. Those guys gonna go crazy in Baltimore, man.
No, they always seem to pick the right kind of guys for their culture.
For the culture. For the culture.
I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. And by the way, are people from Philadelphia Penn State fans? Is that how it works?
Listen, bro, I've been a Penn State guy since Kajana Carter, Bobby Ingram, and Kerry Collins, brother.
Okay.
So that been I fell in love with those guys in '94 when we got robbed, when they put Nebraska in the national chip and then put us in there with them. And they that was a whole nother conversation. But I'm a diehard Penn State guy. Joe Paterno.
Hey. O.J. McDuffie, stand up.
Oh, O.J. McDuffie, come on. You taking it back, bro. LeVar was like the greatest thing I ever seen at Penn State. But Baltimore had a great draft. They always draft well. They have great general managing, scouts. Those guys went out and got some talent to build around. Now, they did that Hollywood Brown trade.
That was a little suspect.
They got a first-round pick for that. Didn't they?
You know what? I don't know if they got a first rounder or not. Maybe they did. I certainly know that it didn't make Lamar very happy.
Yeah. Because that was his favorite target. And then,
you know, and when they have a hard time throwing the ball to anybody but the tight end, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, like you got to maintain some kind of chemistry. And word on the street was just that Hollywood didn't want to be in a running offense when he was facing his re-up. You know, he wants to get that second contract.
I could understand that. I could understand, yeah. But my thing is, Hollywood Brown is a great go get him route, like just a go route receiver. He got a little stuff with him with his route running, but he's not elite. And I thought the Arizona Cardinals was crazy for giving up a first. If I'm not mistaken, they gave up a first for him. So that was crazy. They got fleeced.
They got fleeced, but I think that they were also desperate because they lost DeAndre for, you know, at least almost half the season.
Yeah, how about that, Cardinal fans? Oh man,
you know, and you want to talk about it. You want to talk about a guy that I don't think that it wouldn't make sense for that to be the case, but you never know with these kinds of things. I mean, you take a supplement and
it happens. It's not needle. Like the guy from the program in the fucking bathroom juicing himself. You know what I mean? It ain't that. I don't.
It's not that. Yeah. No. So, much respect to our man DeAndre. He's one of my favorite players in the league. Hopefully, he comes back soon. I'm also going to give the Baltimore Ravens an A. Also because of this guy, Daniel Falele.
Okay.
I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, but the tackle from Minnesota, 6'8", almost 340. They say this dude's a beast. So that's my guy. All right. Buffalo Bills, third. A lot of people giving these guys like top marks in the entire draft because of this guy, Elam from Florida, the corner.
Yes. And listen, big cornerback. Big cornerback. He's athletic. He can get physical. He can play at the line of scrimmage. One of the things that you got to watch out for with him, he might get a little interception happy. He might bite. But as far as his coverage, he's one of the best. 6'1", he about 6'1", 6'2", 190. He's going to be a physical cornerback. And he has size too, some speed. He's going to be a great cornerback. And then you have him opposite of Tre'Davious White. That just, open. Well, who's going to throw? Where are you going to throw to?
No, they have a lockdown defense happening now.
Yes, they do.
Cook's little brother coming up from Georgia, catching the ball at the backfield. I thought that was a nice pick in the second round.
Facts.
Dude ran a legit 4.4. And, I mean, anytime that you can pick up a player from San Diego State, the Aztecs, the punter, Matt Ariza, I mean, I don't know. I've not seen a punter actually play with so much swag as this guy. I don't know if you checked his highlights, but it's like a real thing where the punter is actually looking like he's like kind of feeling himself on the field.
Yeah, let's go. Penn State, if I'm not mistaken, is that Jordan Stout?
Who's that?
Jordan Stout, the punter?
No, I'm talking about Matt Ariza from San Diego State.
Oh, okay.
Sixth round pick by the Buffalo Bills. Why?
Okay. You might find a gem in there. You definitely might find a gem.
Do the Nittany Lions have a swagged out punter?
Jordan Stout, baby. They drafted him in the fourth round. I believe Baltimore. Somebody grabbed him in the fourth round. But man, one of the biggest boots in college.
You know what?
Yeah.
You are correct, sir. Pick 130 in the fourth round. Jordan Stout, kicker, punter, Penn State.
Let's go. Let's go. Go.
All right. So look, nothing new here. I'm going to give the Bills an A as well. Thumbs
They
up
get an A.
for this draft. Also got a guy out of Clemson with the seventh pick, which I think is interesting. I feel like Clemson has a lot of guys that I would have thought would have gone much higher the last couple of years,
Okay.
given all their success. Okay,
Yeah.
Carolina Panthers. A lot of people liking this draft. I think that this is a team that's in utter disarray.
They are, man. And who's their quarterback going to be? Is it Sam Darnold? I mean,
I'll tell you what, it's not Baker Mayfield.
One thing I'll say about the Panthers is, do you like Matt Rule as a coach? Let me ask you that.
So here's my take on Matt Rule. I think that I don't know if I like him. I don't know if I dislike him.
Okay.
What I do know about Matt Rule is that he went to a new team after a lot of success in college, and he's got an owner of that team and David Tepper that's not playing around when it comes to having a lot of patience.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because if you buy the Panthers or the Jacksonville Jaguars, you got to have patience.
They're not in no large markets like a New York media, Boston media, Philadelphia. There's no rush.
That's right. And look, I think that we can all tell when a team is starting to kind of like throw darts, you know what I mean? And probably just throw darts with a blindfold on, because anybody that's lining up Sam Darnold to be their starter after what we saw from him at the Jets, the guy's an athlete, but like, does anyone really think he's going to win 10 games or more for you?
Nah. I don't think so. And they did start out well. They got the offensive lineman. They needed a left tackle. They got the best left tackle in the draft. What's his name? Ekwonu. And then they went out and drafted Matt Corral, which was
Ekwonu is one of these guys I think that's going to be in the league for like 13, 14 years.
Orlando Pace, man.
I think that he's a beast. I think he knows what he's doing. He's technically sound, loves the game. Matt Corral, no different, passionate guy. I mean, I think that I think that Matt Corral is maybe a better playmaker right now than Baker Mayfield is.
I was going to leave Baker alone till we got on Cleveland, but since we're going to go there, the man who got more commercials than wins.
I just want to say, one, I cannot knock Baker's hustle. I mean, for him to land, what was it? He was doing Nissan with all the Heisman Trophy winners. He had Progressive, right? He had Hulu, which I actually found his Hulu ads pretty funny. You know, what did they say? Where it was like, Hulu does live TV or Hulu does live sports. And he goes, well, yes, they do love live, whatever. I mean, Baker has a little bit of a presence.
Yeah. You know, he got the marketability and all, but no wins. What is all that when you can't win?
When you can't win, I mean, look, a lot of people have been saying this for the last year or whatever about the guy. They say that you should not play hurt in the NFL, at least not these days. That's what they say.
Yes, facts.
Because this guy tried to grind it out with a torn labrum of all injuries, which I don't even care if it's not your throwing shoulder. Like, you're not going to be able to get a lot of velocity on the ball with a torn labrum in your body. That being said, it's a playmaker league. Guy didn't make enough plays, period.
Got to make the plays, man. And then you had weapons. The way they treated Odell Beckham, how don't you get him the ball? I get it. It's a running offense. I get it. Yeah,
I'm with you.
You got what's my guy name from? He came from the Chiefs and went over there. What's his name? It was Chubb and it's Jones, Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
It's a running offense. I get that. But when you have a receiver of the caliber of Odell Beckham, and I'm making sure he get fed at least 10 targets a game. At least.
Yeah, I think that there's something going on there with Baker where it looks like he's. I don't want to say that the guy's lost the edge, but it seems like he's one of these players that operates in a big way off of self-confidence. And
Hey, he was lacking that last year. He stunk up a lot of games. A lot of games Cleveland lost was on his back. It was because of him. They have a stout defense. They couldn't get the points when they needed them. And Baker Mayfield is to blame for that. So, and this is the number 1 overall pick we talking about just a couple of years ago. Please,
true.
that guy was a joke.
All right, so with the Carolina Panthers, a lot of people giving these people like a B plus. I think a B minus maybe is appropriate from my vantage point.
Watch out for Brandon Smith, Penn State linebacker they drafted in the 4th round. You might hear a lot about him.
They
that
did
guy's
get some
a beast.
And this guy Barno from Virginia Tech.
Yes.
At DN, he ran a legit 4.3, something like that. So
you 4.3. You a defensive end running a 4.3.
They got some guys. I think it being that it's a quarterback league though, and
yes.
Not throwing any shade at Cam, but when you're relying on Cam to step in and save your season, that I don't know. I mean, he's a great dude for the locker room, but again, I think they got to sort out the quarterback position before any of these picks can really make a mark for them. All right.
I like Carolina draft. Carolina draft was good. It was good. I like what they got. I'm just hoping they get a quarterback. That's all they need is a quarterback. That's it, in my opinion. Because Sam Darnold ain't it. You gotta, but next year's draft class is going to be crazy with the quarterbacks. We'll come back to that though. But Carolina got a solid draft. I'll give them B minus, B. Give them a B. Give them a
All
B.
right, B. You give them a B, I give them a B minus. Chicago Bears up next. This is another team where every year I literally cannot make heads or tails about what it is they're trying to do as an organization. It just seems like they're throwing darts with a blindfold on every single year.
Yes.
I mean, Kyler Gordon, cornerback, Washington. All right, doesn't really do much for me, but no sweat. This guy, Velus Jones from Tennessee, he can ball.
Okay.
Can ball. But again, he's not like making you jump out of your seat. And they picked, let's see here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Yeah, a lot of.
They got like 11. They got like 11 picks.
No first round pick. They got 2 2s, 1 3, 2 5s, a bunch of 6s, 3 6s, and 4 7s. You can't make a team better like that. How?
It almost just looks like an extension of their practice squad. Not throwing too much shade. Hopefully, But I mean, at the end of the day, you got a lot of guys who are going to make this team. There's going to be players in this draft for them, but at the same time, I just think that as a fan, as a former San Diego Chargers fan, where like it seemed like 4 to 5 times the Chargers would have a draft, and I literally could not tell you a single thing about any one of the guys that they picked up.
Okay, the Chargers. All right, so the Chargers. Let's see who the Chargers took. All right, we got. Damn. Well, yeah, I guess you're right, bro. I'm looking at their draft like, huh?
Well, I'm not. So I've since the Chargers moved to Los Angeles. It's like breaking up with somebody. You can't. I'm not chasing them. So
I mean, Zion Johnson is a reach. I mean, you want to protect the investment in Herbert, but it was so many other players you could have picked at that spot. J.T. Woods, safety. He might be a good, solid safety. Isaiah Spiller.
JT Woods can run though.
He can run.
That dude clocked in at a 4.3. So okay. I mean, but we'll get to the Chargers. We'll get to the Chargers. Cincinnati Bengals up next. This is a team that I'll be honest, like I can't tell you a lot about what the Bengals need other than offensive line.
Yeah, they need offensive line. They got to protect.
I liked their team last year, but
yeah.
What was weird is the only dude they picked on the line is this guy from North Dakota State in the 4th round. So if I'm Joe Burrow and if I'm, all of his receiving threats and Mixon and these guys, I mean, like, are you really that happy to see them taking, a safety and a corner
Yeah, the
in the
first
first two picks?
taking defense, and I've been running for my life. Now, granted, I keep plays open because I can move out the pocket, but damn, can I get some protection?
That's what I'm saying. It didn't make any sense to me. And once again, sometimes I feel like a lot of these player personnel people in the NFL, they are just way too clever. Where
Yes.
like the common sense is just like, look, you got Jamar Chase on one side, you got Mixon coming out the backfield, and Mixon, in my opinion, that dude is one of the most all-round, like, well-rounded running backs in the league. Guy can run with power, guy can run with speed, guy can catch it. He's got all the skills. So for me, you're like, all right, hey, we got like three like legit top tier talents on the offensive side of the football for the Bengals. All they need to do is just protect this dude. Give the offense some time to click.
Facts.
I'm just not seeing that happen.
Give them an F. Give them an F, bro.
I think that they get an F. I think that they get an F.
F. After coming off a Super Bowl, you draft like that. Come on, man.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Cleveland Browns up next. Another team where I felt like they had an opportunity to get better, because if you're the Browns, you do have a lot of talent. They do have a lot of talent.
They do.
But at the same time, it seems like they think that they're gonna fit. The NFL doesn't work this way, where it's like, oh, we're gonna just fill in the gaps right here and right there. It doesn't work that way. You need playmakers. So, I was looking at some of these guys that they picked. Emerson, this guy from Mississippi State, kind of looks like a player. He passes the eye test, so to speak. But this guy ran something like a 4.5, which, there's corners that run 4.5s and stay in the league, but they got to be like beasts with their footwork, and they got to like love run support. And the word on the street with this guy Emerson is he doesn't really like to come up and hit.
No.
And then you're talking about this guy. And then you're talking about this guy David Bell, pick 99, which balls out in college. This guy is a legit wide receiver, technician of the game, but he ran damn near a 4.7 in the 40. And I'm saying
wide receiver?
Yeah, he ran a mid 4.6. And so like I'm saying
he fell to the third round.
No doubt. And I'm just like, look, you cannot get it done. And so if I'm a fan, if I'm even a veteran player of the Browns and I'm watching them pull in some of these guys, I'm kind of saying to myself, why are we trying to get so clever right now?
Everybody want to be clever. They want to be the smart guy. Found the diamond in the rough instead of just drafting for need. Absolutely. Draft for need. There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. I'm with you 1,000%. All right. So I think that after looking at these picks from the Browns, I think that you can't give them much more than a C+, because
I mean, Daxton Hill is a hell of a great player at Michigan. I watched a lot of his games this year. He was very active, getting to the ball. The guy was a beast. So that was a good pick for them. But everything else, man, this ain't nothing to, wink at. So I would say give him like you said, C+.
C+. All right, Dallas Cowboys, the team that loves to zig when everyone's zagging. It seems like Jerry Jones just loves to basically provoke the world. And I mean, I got to tell you, I don't know Jerry Jones, never met the man. He kind of looks like the Emperor from Star Wars or whatever with the hood on, you know what I mean? But like, I just wonder like how old this guy really is. It just seems like he's instructably old. Like he's just up in that like Jerry world, just on ice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, he seems to have a crazy vision for what he wants the Dallas Cowboys football team to be, even if it means not winning football games.
Facts. I mean, listen, the draft show right here. Your first pick, you go Tyler Smith. Great. I get your offensive line is depleted. You looking for offensive line. You could have got him in a late second, third round, possibly. Sam Williams, edge rusher, because you want to replace Randy Gregory. a miss for me. Jake Ferguson might be okay. Jalen Tolbert, because you want to replace Amari because you didn't want to pay him $19 million, $20 million. It looked like all reaches on the hand of Jerry Jones. This whole draft right here was a reach. They get an F.
It looks like it, and I started out talking about Jerry Jones because for the life of me, I can't see if we lined up, 10 player personnel executives from the league. I can't see 7 of them signing off on this draft. I can't see, you know what I mean? I can't see, point being is I can't see very many of these guys looking at the players that Jerry Jones picks and saying, I'm with you, Jerry. I think that instead he's basically living in a little bit of a bubble in Jerry's world and basically just tapping who he thinks makes sense for the star, regardless of whether or not it's like a need draft, a talent pickup. I mean, like you said, I don't even know where the diamond in the rough is in this collection of talent. Whereas, like,
maybe Jake Ferguson might be a solid number 2 tight end, possibly because he was making catches for Wisconsin this past year. He was a solid tight end, but everything else on here is a reach, man. Everything. And I guarantee you, out of all their picks, Jerry Jones made every one of them.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. All right, so I'm giving them C, maybe a C.
They get an F from me.
All right. So I'm giving them a C minus. Well, all right, I'll give them a D plus. So D plus.
You just want to see them make the grade. I can dig it.
All right, so Denver Broncos. I am not a Denver Bronco fan. Like I said, in my previous life, I was a San Diego Chargers fan, and the Denver Broncos always made smarter decisions, typically had a better roster, understood how to draft guys from big schools that typically had speed to burn. I look at this draft from them. It looks pretty solid. Can't lie. This guy that they got at the top of their draft, they didn't have a first-round pick. So in the second round, they get this guy Benito out of Oklahoma, and he's a playmaker.
Okay.
He's a playmaker, and then the dude with the luscious curls coming out of UCLA, Dolchich, I think is
Greg Dolchich.
He looks stiff when he's running with the ball, but apparently the guy catches everything. So
okay, he got sure hands.
He's got sure hands. I mean, with Russ Wilson being in the mix there, I mean, I don't know. I think that the Broncos have already proven they have great wide receivers.
They already have a stout wide receiver core. You got Jerry Jeudy. Is Sutton still there with them?
Sutton is there.
Yeah.
And then my main man, Tim.
Tim. Oh yeah. Tim. What's his name?
Big dude.
It's Big right dude. There. Tim Patrick.
Yeah, Tim Patrick. I had him in fantasy a couple weeks. He didn't produce.
Yeah.
But he is a playmaker. I like his game. So I mean, they got guys that can make things happen. And when you look at their draft, they did a pretty good job of kind of sprinkling it around, knowing I think that they already have some talent. So for me, I like it because, like I said, I think Benito is an athlete on the edge. And I think that I always give teams their props when they invest in guys from big schools with the right measurables at high value positions like an edge rusher, corner, tackle, quarterback, whatever. So I'm going to give, despite the fact that I'm not a Broncos fan, I am going to give them a solid B.
Yeah, I'll give them a B. I like what they did. I definitely do. So, hey, man, they team loaded, and then you add Russell Wilson to that. That's a bonus. But they definitely got some players here. I definitely like that Dolchich pick. I like that a lot. So that's going to be – because they got rid of their tight end, Noah Fant. So they went out and got another tight end to replace Noah Fant. Hey, man, Denver looked like the AFC West is loaded.
Without a doubt, toughest division in football, I think, at this point.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how you could ever make an argument about anything different. All right, Detroit Lions. I mean, I like their draft. I think that their team is still a mystery because I'm not sold on Jared Goff.
No doubt.
You know, I just
Now,
think
I'm
Jared.
not a Goff fan at all, bro. At all.
Yeah, I think that Jared Goff was kind of riding some kind of a streak. I mean, clearly Todd Gurley back in those days was making a lot of plays that made Goff look good.
Facts.
Um,
That's a
so
fact.
so when I'm thinking about this draft right now, the first thing that I really like about it is that Hutchinson wanted to go to the Lions,
Absolutely. Homegrown talent.
homegrown.
Come on.
So I think that that's going to be good for the locker room. And then Jamison Williams is obviously one of those
Great
people that
draft
just
pick. Great draft pick.
that was a
Move
great
up
pick.
to get him. Oh, man.
High
I'm telling you,
value.
that guy's going to be, out of all the wide receivers that were drafted, he might be the most impactful as far as with the ability, his route running speed. That guy's, he just take the lid off the roof, man.
And by the way,
He's a deep threat.
just while we're on the subject of speed, I was looking at the Shannon Sharp show the other day where DK was saying that he could beat Cheetah in a race, which
No way.
no
No
way,
way.
not a chance, no way, no how.
No
In a
way.
race.
I listen, I'll bet the house on Tyreek Hill beating it. Nobody is outrunning Tyreek Hill.
I'm
Nobody.
with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. But if there is a guy that has a noticeable next gear where it looks like he's really not even trying, it's Jameson Williams.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
It's unbelievable.
He has a fast twitch. Man, he take the roof or the lid off of the defense, man. You gotta have two back there when he running because it's a chance your cornerback gonna get burnt. He
No
burning
doubt.
backs. That guy's special, man.
So just for the sheer fact, and then this guy Pascal from Kentucky,
Beast. He's a beast.
he's a beast as
Beast.
well. He's a beast as well, and I like the fact that they're getting two dudes off the edge.
Facts.
So look, I'm gonna give him a solid B. I'm gonna give him a solid B.
I'm gonna give them a B plus. I'm gonna give them a B plus. Their first three picks, they hit them out the park. All three.
All right, no doubt, no doubt. Okay, Green Bay Packers.
Oh God. You give Aaron Rodgers that contract and you draft Quay Walker, Devontae Wyatt, and you go get me Christian Watson to replace Devontae Adams. It's like Green Bay is trying to sabotage him, man.
It's almost like Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers executive management ownership, whatever. I know that the people of Green Bay all have got a share certificate where they own a piece of the team or whatever. But it seems like they like to antagonize each other. Does it not?
Yeah, I do. I do. I don't know. If I felt the way about my quarterback, I'm not going to give him no big-ass contract. And then you do this. You draft Quay Walker, who might be a great player. Devontae Wyatt, who might be a great player. Come on, man. Come on, man.
I think that Christian Watson out of North Dakota State looks like a playmaker to me. I mean, it's difficult to say because he played in an offense where they basically run the ball 9 out of 10 times.
Facts.
But he comes from a family of people who play in the NFL.
Facts.
And
but I agree. I agree.
I like the pickup.
Bro, I don't like when you don't support your quarterback. Your guy need weapons. Go out and get him some weapons. Go get him some guys. Y'all could have traded up to get what wide receiver was available. I mean, it was slim pickings after the Treylon Burks, but my God, you could have gave Devontae Adams that contract or something. I don't know. You gotta put some weapons around Aaron Rodgers, man.
Well, I don't think Devontae, and I don't blame him. I don't think Devontae just wanted to play in the state of Wisconsin any longer. I think it's too cold for a guy who, has had like that toe injury. Like a lot of these little injuries in the cold are much different things than when you're in like Las Vegas or Miami or California.
Facts.
So, look, I'm looking at this. There's a lot of people around the league that gave these guys a very high rank for their draft. I mean, like a couple people even saying that this guy Romeo Dubs out of Nevada is like going to be a guy who goes up and get it. I
Come
never
on.
heard of him. But, I mean, look, a lot of people give them an A. I
They
think I'll
want
give them.
they want Aaron Rodgers to turn coal into diamonds, man. That's crazy, man.
This is true. This is true. So because of this, I'm going to give it a solid B, just because, obviously there's something here that I'm not seeing, but it certainly does not get me excited.
I'll give them a C until I see what these guys, especially Christian Watson, because you won't come in and you got a heavy burden to carry. Because now that I believe their second best receiver is gone too, isn't he?
He is. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So now they got, before this draft, their wide receiver room was led by Alan Lazard, who, he's like a solid 3. But if Alan Lazard is my number 1 or my number 2, I'm probably out there looking for like an upgrade, to be honest.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Yeah, they get a C until I see. Now, here's a pick that I think will be possibly a great pick for them. Rasheed Walker, the 7th round pick for Penn State offensive lineman.
Okay.
We are. So he was projected to be as high as 2nd, 3rd round. They got him at the 7th. That was a steal.
Why did he fall?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. I don't know. Was it his pro day? Was it his combine? Because the mock drafts I would see, they had him as high going in the 2nd, 3rd round. He dropped all the way to number 7. You got a great player at number 7 that could potentially help your offensive line. Hey, that's one of the reasons why they'll get a C for me. I like the linebacker Quay Walker. I like Devontae Wyatt. They were studs at Georgia. That's going to help, but you got to help your quarterback. So until I see otherwise, I give those guys a C, man.
All right. I'm with you. I'll knock mine back to a B minus.
Okay.
Just to be. I mean, like I said, a lot of people giving very high grades to this group of picks for the Packers. I'm not feeling it. So, all right. Next team up, Houston Texans. I mean, talk about another team in disarray. It seems like it's become one of these places, one of these teams where almost some guys don't want to even play for them.
I mean, after what probably, NFL is like a fraternity. So people talk. And guys probably made phone calls and say, yeah, I don't think you want to sign there. You know what I mean? Like, listen, man, they roster has been they've been on a rebuild for the past 2-3 years now, 2 years. I mean, we could start off their draft. Derek Stingley, who I thought was a great cornerback his freshman year at LSU. Then the pandemic came, threw people off track. I don't even count that against anybody. That season they played without the fans being in the building. And then last year he was hurt. Talent-wise, he's one of the best cornerbacks. If not talent-wise, he can be the best cornerback in out the draft. But
I mean, did you see the highlights of him locking up Chase in practice?
Yes, I did. So, but here's the thing about that. He had some injury issues, but the talent is still there. He was expected to drop in the draft. Leading up to the draft, they were talking about him going down as low as 13, 14, 15. Houston drafted him 3rd. Great pick. Might be a great pick. So I like the pick. I think it was a reach for where they were at. But he will be a stud for them.
I mean, if it comes down to Stingley or Sauce, I'd prefer Sauce.
I prefer Sauce too.
That's just, I mean, but I feel like you're splitting hairs right there with
it. It's like yin and yang. You're not going wrong with either one. Either one is a great pick.
I'm with that. It's still, I just think that when you look at a bad team and you add a top tier corner, I mean, typically what's difficult is just that bad teams are usually getting the ball run on them at the end of a game. Because they're losing. So it's like you get a shutdown corner and you're the Texans. I don't know if that's going to move the needle much for your roster because you're probably not going to be close in very many games.
Facts. I listen. Cornerbacks have been drafted this high before, so I like the pick. what they did with the first pick. Then they went out and grabbed Kenyon Green, an offensive guard. They needed some offensive line help for their quarterback, he played well to be a second, third round pick. Their quarterback from last year, what's the guy name? I forgot his name. Who is the Texas quarterback? They drafted him.
Davis Mills. Davis Mills. Okay. Straight out of Stanford.
You want to put
dude's got a neck like a linebacker.
You want to put some blocking in front of him. You want to help build that offensive lineup. He might be your quarterback, and you might be able to build around him. So that's what they're trying to decide right now. Kenyon Green was a solid offensive lineman, and I think that was a great pick for them. Let's see, who else did they get?
Mechie was a playmaker at Alabama. He didn't have very, very good measurables coming out.
No, he didn't. But he can catch the football. He was a great player for them.
He did make some plays that I saw. So I mean, when they picked him up, it wasn't just because it was a name that I knew. I was just like, all right, look, like at least you're getting somebody that I've seen do something on the field. So, I mean, look, I think that the Texans just are like, I don't want to. It just seems like right now it's the equivalent of NFL purgatory. It just is like, like you go to Houston and where's that leading for you?
Yeah. Facts.
All right, so I mean, I'm gonna give them a B just because I'm feeling. I got some friends down in Houston, so I'm gonna give them a B. I want to see the people of Houston be happy with their football team.
Are they loving it? Are they loving what they got?
I mean, I think that they all know that they want to upgrade the quarterback position, but that being said, who knows? Maybe
next year's quarterback class is going to be CJ Stroud. You got my man from Alabama. What's my man name? What's his name?
I'm much more of a
Bryce Young.
fan.
Bryce
Young, he knows where he wants to go with the football.
Facts.
And when you see a quarterback that knows how to do that, there's another guy that I saw. I mean, I'm happy to say I was able to see Tom Brady's very first game as a starter, I think it was. So he got knocked out. Maybe it was his second game as a starter. But it was his rookie or his first season when he was,
after
taking over for Bledsoe. Yeah, and I'm telling you, this guy would get the ball out in a way that just felt way too easy.
Yeah.
And that's what it looks like when you're watching Bryce Young.
That's good, man. That's a good way of putting it. It looked easy. It looked effortless when he throwing the football. Absolutely.
Yeah. He just knows where he wants to go with it. It's always like a weird third and short situation where it doesn't feel stressful. You know who feels stressful? Not to go back down the rabbit hole, but who feels stressful to watch play quarterback is Baker Mayfield. I get
like Baker Mayfield. I didn't like him at Oklahoma. Hey man, it is what it is. But that guy, he's all talk, but the bark ain't as bad as or the bite. He ain't got the bite. He don't bite. He bark. It's a lot of talk with that guy.
Well, maybe he makes it to Hollywood. He's got a. I'm not going to tell you that he's a leading man. He seems like he could be a great buddy character to the villain in a movie.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like
he just reminds me of another Johnny Manziel. He's just a glorified Johnny Manziel, man.
Maybe. R.I.P. Johnny Manziel wherever he is. Playing video game football. Okay, Indianapolis Colts. A lot of people loving on this team. Like every year, for whatever reason, it just seems like no one really likes to knock the Colts. I don't know what it is. I mean, Matt Ryan going over there, I think it's a decent pickup. I mean, Matt Ryan is better than What's up? Tell me.
It's better than what they had. Carson Wentz.
It's better than Carson Wentz. I mean, I can't believe this guy is just rotating starting quarterback positions in the league.
He's going to play for at least 5 teams and be a starting quarterback. Like, he's going to get the most chances of anybody. I promise you that, man. That guy's a nut, man. I'm glad we got rid of him and we fleeced the Colts. Look at the Colts. They draft second round pick. They got 3 number 3s, a 5, a 6, 2 6s, a 7. They done. But the Matt Ryan signing might get them into the playoffs. Actually, they already have a great foundation.
They have a great running game, a great defense, and they get a guy like Matt Ryan who hopefully doesn't throw, too many touchdowns or interceptions in the first half or whatever.
He gonna get you to the big game, but he gonna fold like a lawn chair. He gonna fold on you, man.
He's got a little bit of Phil Rivers in him. He's a little bit more polished looking. You know what I mean? But it's like that game every weekend where you look at Matt Ryan and he ends up having 278 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, but for whatever reason, he just didn't make the right play at the right time. So the Falcons were always going to lose that game. And I just think that with the Colts, I mean, as long as Taylor stays healthy, Matt Ryan could look like a much better quarterback.
He could. And like I said, this draft class was not like quarterback dominant like other drafts where you have to go out and get a good quarterback. This wasn't one of them drafts. This wasn't it. That
being said, this guy, Alec Pierce, Cincinnati had a lot of dudes get picked up. I mean, I don't know if just because of their roster was testing well or just everybody was, infatuated by it.
They had a great year. They had a great year last year.
I mean, the Colts picked up 2 dudes from Cincinnati alone. I mean, I would love to know how many Cincinnati players got picked. It's not as many as Georgia, but it's a lot for a team like Cincinnati.
It's a lot. They had a great year this year, man.
They had a great
the playoff too. So yeah, they got some looks. They got a lot of looks, man.
I mean, this dude that the Colts picked up in the 3rd round, though, Jelani Woods, tight end.
Yes.
He could be a beast. The guy is a former basketball player, 6'7". They say, he's like raw. Antonio Gates.
I was just about to say Gates.
Antonio Gates was very raw coming back in the NFL. In fact, watching him back in the day, it almost looked like it took him like a season just to kind of figure out how he wanted to represent himself in his uniform. You know what I mean?
Bro, I remember watching him in the tournament, NCAA tournament in 2002 when he played at Kent State. He was a monster at Kent State. Beast. Then he goes to the NFL and he's a monster as a tight end. Another guy, Julius Peppers, same way. Julius Peppers was the man. He wasn't like a bucket getter at North Carolina at the time he played. But when he played both sports, he was you knew he was out there. That guy was a monster at North Carolina on a basketball court. Athletic, just like Myles Garrett, athletic beast, athletic marvel. Those guys like that can play both sports, they tend to be monsters in the NFL, man. They basketball players be beasts in the NFL, man.
No, it's true, and it's interesting because I think with the way that the rule changes have gone, it makes those guys coming from the basketball court, it almost kind of gives them an advantage. You know what I mean? Because now they don't need to worry about quite literally having their head taken off their body.
No, they ain't got to worry about that. No.
They don't need to worry about that in the same way. So now they can actually be posting people up.
Yes. Box you right out. Go get it. Go get the football. Go get it.
So I mean, look, not being a big Indianapolis Colts fan, and seeing that they took a dude from Cincinnati with the top pick, which always would be like a red flag for me.
Fact.
Bottom line, I think you got to give these guys an A-.
Okay. I would say for me, because I want to see what a couple of these guys do. I like the Nick Cross pick. I watched him in the Big Ten. He's a hard hitter. He a heavy hitter. Pierce, I want to see what Pierce going to do with that receiving core that they have. They have a good receiving core, along with Jonathan Taylor, one of the best running backs in football. I would give them a B-. I'll give them a B-. They might have addressed some holes in certain areas. Like they might need an offensive tackle. They went out and got one in the 3rd round. They needed safety help. They went out and got one, and Nick Cross 3rd round. Like they fill holes. We'll see. I'll give these guys a B minus.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. All right, Jacksonville Jaguars up next. I mean, first of all, let me just tell you something. When I think about the Jaguars, the team, the city, the ownership, whatever, I still cannot get out of my mind the indelible image of Urban Meyer winding and grinding.
Oh, man. Urban?
At that sports bar in Columbus.
That was his sports bar that he owned.
I mean, talk about a guy who just like had to go and get it that day.
Yo, you know what? I can't even knock Urban Meyer because he was out having a good time. Granted, he has a wife and family at Jacksonville at home. Yeah, but he was out having a good time. It was almost like Al Pacino in Any Given Sunday. You know what I mean?
This is
true. He was out having a good time. You can't even go have a good time because everybody want to have their phone out recording you. However, to kick your kicker in the chest and then the whole team goes like
Did he kick him in the chest though?
Yeah. That's what they say. He kicked him in the chest.
In the chest.
In the chest.
Okay. That's low. That's low. That's low. All right. So give me your take on Trayvon Walker because this guy it seems. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Break it down.
All right. So when I'm looking at this guy, like, I mean, on the one hand, I want to give Trayvon Walker all of the props and respect and flowers and whatever that he deserves to be the number 1 pick. Because he's the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. He was obviously a playmaker on a very good defense in college. And, I mean, let's be honest. Like, if you're starting and making plays at Georgia, you know, they don't let a scrub on the field. They don't let a scrub even close to the field.
They don't.
So, at the same time, I mean, I think it's interesting because who is the guy that the Jets picked from Ohio State? Vernon Golston, right?
Yes. Oh, my gosh.
Beast.
In college.
Well, that's my point. So, measurables, right? Pedigree coming from the right program. Right. I mean, a lot of people were like thinking that Vernon Golston was going to be a 10-year playmaker in the NFL, and now he's kind of like synonymous with being a bust of every bust. So you look at Trayvon, and I'm kind of like saying like, man, this guy has actually got a lot of pressure on him now.
He do,
you know, and it feels like it's all media manufactured. Go ahead, I want to hear your take.
He looked like one of them combine warriors that just wowed everybody, all the GMs with his workouts and his measurables, and he has the athletic tools. He was a solid defensive end at Georgia. But I do remember another workout warrior that you remember probably as well. And he was from the Boston area. And he played at Boston College.
Mike Mamula.
Number 5 in the 95 draft over Warren Sapp.
To your Philadelphia.
Give him his name.
Yeah. Mike Mamula. And I mean, look, I just think that the media is so good these days at just taking a micro-calibrated position on something and going, all right, cool. We are going to pick on this one aspect of this young man's career path right here. So now Trayvon Walker, I mean, if he gets anything less than 8-9 sacks, people aren't going to be happy.
What Myles Garrett might have had 8 to 10 sacks his first year. So he set the bar. You know what I mean? If you ain't coming close to that at the first pick, as the first pick, yo, you're going to have people calling you bust. I feel as though Jacksonville reached. They reached, man. They could have. I would have took the short shot at Aiden Hutchinson. You know what you're getting with Hutchinson. He brings it every down. He's a 3-down defensive end. He can play the run. He can go get the quarterback as well. Whereas you got enamored with the physical nature, the attributes, the vertical, the force, the speed, the strength, all of that. That will that translate on the NFL? You put a lot of pressure on yourself when you could have got offensive line help for your just first round pick the year before Trevor Lawrence. You could have went that route. What you do? You went and reached. Then Devin Lloyd. I love Devin Lloyd. That was their second first round pick.
That dude's a player. You know, you talk about a guy that looks comfortable on the field.
Yes. He's
Devin
a
Lloyd
monster.
looks very comfortable.
He's a monster. But to go number one, and you don't go get Aguano, the best offensive. If I was going to draft, I'm going to go protect my quarterback. Go get you an offensive lineman, a stud-style offensive lineman that's going to be there for 10 years. Versus this guy, Trayvon Walker, who might flame out. He might be great. It might be a great pick for them, but he might also flame out. The defensive ends don't last long, especially high. Look at Derek Barnett. Derek Barnett just had to settle for a 1-year deal after being the first-round pick by the Eagles. This guy's been Mr. Inconsistent, more penalties than sacks. He didn't pan out. He's about to flame out after this year. If he don't have an outstanding year, he's going to flame out. You just put yourself at risk at missing out on some premium talent to just go with the eye candy. And that's exactly what that was, eye candy.
Yeah, no, it's interesting, especially when you think about the fact that, Trevor Lawrence didn't look very settled in last year, right?
No, he didn't.
And making a first round pick, and a quarterback, the expectation is that you're going to have this guy on your roster for 10 years.
Yes.
Right? That you're going to sign him to the rookie deal, then you're going to re-up him, whatever it is, year 4, the player option, rookie option, whatever it is. It would have made sense to me if they would have doubled down on offense for this draft.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
and just surrounded
I agree.
Right? And just surrounded Trevor Lawrence at least with a whole bunch of guys where they're at least going to be able to get the maximum amount of kind of, whatever kind of return they can get out of Trevor Lawrence in the next couple of years. It's going to be a big part of this draft. But you look at their draft and you say to yourself, okay, they picked round 3 a center from Kentucky. Maybe he's good.
Maybe he's good. I like the Chad Mama.
That guy can play.
He can play. He can play.
But my point is, the next offensive player they get is this guy Snoop Connor from Mississippi. Look, the one thing that the Jacksonville Jaguars did not need is a running back.
No, they didn't. You drafted Travis Etienne from Clemson. He tore his Robinson. You still have Robinson, who's a great running back,
and he's a great running back.
Yes, but you didn't need another running back. You definitely didn't need another running back.
So I'm giving this draft probably a C-.
Yeah, I'll give them a C. I'll give them a C. Respectfully, right. They'll get a C from me.
A respectful C. All right. Now on to the KC Chiefs, who are an interesting one because a lot of people are saying that they may not even make the playoffs next year. And to me, that's heresy because Pat Mahomes is still Pat Mahomes.
Facts. Now, real quick. I had put in a grocery order, bro. I'm about to bring these groceries in, and I'll be right back.
Do it.
Give me like 2 minutes, brother.
All right, take your time.
There we go. Get these groceries. Here we go. Hey, how you doing, man? You got anything else to do there, Mr. Brad? Oh, you back? Okay. Thank you. There we go. All right, there we go. We back.
All right, all right.
We back, brother. We back.
No doubt. All right. So Kansas City.
All right, let's go.
I mean, I look at this draft by them, and I actually see, I think, some guys are going to help them. Especially because this guy Sky Moore,
Yes.
out of Western Michigan,
Yes.
seems like one of these dudes who plays with a lot of confidence and makes plays. Not a big dude. Didn't play at the biggest level of competition. Obviously, he's not like an SEC guy or whatever.
No.
But it just seems like he does not play with a whole lot of fear. Seems like he reminds me a little bit of like Steve Smith or something like that.
Okay, Steve. Hey, and he was a Hall of Fame receiver, man.
That's what I'm saying.
5'11" with a whole lot of aggression. That guy was a great. So
small dude plays like a big dude in a small dude's body.
That's what I like. I like that. That was a great comparison. So I will go. Trent McDuffie is a premium quarterback. Washington put out a lot of great quarterbacks over the years. So I like Trent McDuffie. He was a solid pick. That's going to help them. They're going to need that when them AFC West teams and those AFC teams meet. They're going to need another cornerback, to stand tall against those wide receivers. I like George Karlaftis. I watched a lot of Big Ten games. That guy gets to the quarterback. I don't know why he dropped that. I believe they said that he can only possibly play so many downs. He's not an every down edge rusher. But from what I've seen from him, his work at Purdue, that guy know how to get to the quarterback. He was an animal.
And he plays. I mean, it's such a cliche thing to say these days, but that guy does have a motor.
Yes, he do. Brian Cook, another Cincinnati guy, drafted in the second round. They had 2 second-round picks. After they took Sky Moore, they took Brian Cook. I watched Brian Cook. He's a good safety, solid safety. He might be, I want to say, he's not a hard hitter, but he's a coverage safety, somebody that can cover. You could depend on him in the backfield. He looked good back there. He looked good. So I'm really liking their picks. You got the Leo Channel from Wisconsin, another solid Big Ten linebacker. Yeah, Joshua Williams, Fayetteville State. He might be a guy. I don't know too much about him. He might be a guy, though. But I like to see what they do in their first 4 picks, and I like their first 4 picks. You got McDuffie, you got Karlaftis, you got Sky Moore, you got Brian Cook. That was a good start out for the draft.
When you look at this draft by these guys, it seems like, like you said, yeah, sure, they took a flyer on a dude from a smaller school who probably has a ton of potential.
Facts.
But other than that, it seems like they invested the right kind of draft capital at the right kind of places for their roster. Yeah. I'm giving these guys an A.
Okay, I'll give them an A. I like the draft. I'll give Kansas City an A.
All right, Las Vegas Raiders, a team that, I'll be honest with you, never really seems to make a whole lot of sense to me.
They don't.
Ever.
They don't.
And it's crazy because it's almost like they got a fan base that almost like doesn't care.
They have a fan base in Oakland that care, but in Las Vegas, it's just an event. Like something to do.
Yeah.
Going to a Las Vegas show to go see Siegfried and Roy. That's what I'm trying to say. It's just like all over there.
My take on Raider fans is that they really, really are passionate about the Raiders.
Yes.
They'll love whatever player that is in the silver and black at that moment in time, and they'll still find a way to start talking about Al Davis and Marcus Allen and did you see that one time?
Just win, baby.
No doubt. Yeah. And which I gotta say, like, that's gotta make life, if you're the ownership of that team, life's a little easier than it is when you're like with the Eagles, right? Where the Philly fans are relentless. They have high expectations.
We know our football. We call bullshit out when we see it.
Call bullshit all the time. I mean, and what's interesting too is, Philly, the Jets, the Giants, right? There's like a lot of overlap between people that cheer for those different teams.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of there's a lot more forgiving kind of accepting or forgiving kind of ways or history that Jets and Giants fans have about the draft. They boo the hell out of the picks, but they're just so used to their players being kind of like, well, here we go again. Whereas like with the Philly fans, every year they expect the top.
Verdi, get out of here. Except when it's y'all BS. No, we call out bullshit when we see it. Chip Kelly, bullshit we called out when we saw it. I could go on and on all the bullshit we called out. We love our teams and we're that devoted. And this is how you know you're going to a crazy sports town. I've been in cities where sport talk radio isn't a thing. Like people don't call in, they don't tap in or nothing like that. Versus when you in Boston, when you in New York, when you're in Philly, when you in Texas even. I'll give Dallas that big market. California, people care about their sports. Chicago, they care. They love their sports. Even here in Philadelphia, talk radio is a thing. People call in. People care. People observe. They know what's going on. And we call people out on their bullshit. Just like we call Ben Simmons out on his bullshit, Carson Wentz, and so on and so on, brother. So if you're not built to be in a big market, I suggest you know what I mean, don't even play no sports. You feel me? That's how I feel. But Oakland, the Raider fans are passionate. They love their teams. And look, man, they're a great fan base. Who wouldn't want to play for the Raiders? Who wouldn't want to go play in front of the silver and the black?
I mean, it's definitely a lineage to be a part of when it comes to football.
Facts.
And they treat their players, whether you're whatever. Jeff Hostetler, remember when he came in and played a couple years for them?
Tim Brown, oh my God.
I mean, they when you become a Raider, you become a Raider for life.
Facts.
So it seems like to me.
Facts.
So I mean, I really don't have a lot to say about this draft. It's not a very big draft.
It's not a big draft. Give them a D. Give them a D.
Yeah, I think that most people are giving him a low mark. I'm going to give him a D. All right.
They did their damage in free agency with the biggest wide receiver coup in free agency. They got the big fish, Devontae Adams. You already have Darren Weller. You already have what's my man name? Hunter Renfrow. You already have a solid core on offense, and your defense is okay. And the running back Jacobs, he's a monster. I love Jacobs at Alabama.
I love Jacobs.
He's a monster. So they but the question is David Carr. David Carr, are you going to get him over the hump? You made the playoffs this past year. Are you a quarterback that's going to take the next step and be that great quarterback that you're paid to be? Because he got paid handsomely. He got cashed out. Now let's see what the results going to be. Let's see.
Well, Devontae and him are college teammates. So, I mean, I think and you at least can say this about Carr, that he has not had a top shelf wide receiver to throw to.
He hasn't.
Ever. Right? He's got the tight end. Jacobs can ball as long as he can stay healthy. The dude's got so much talent.
Facts.
But yeah, so let's see what the Raiders do. I mean, I've never been a Raiders fan, but I do not hate on literally anything that has to do with the Raiders right now, with the exception of their owner's crazy ass haircut.
Oh God.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, you should not be allowed to be an NFL owner with that haircut.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on. Someone's got to like jump into that like stylist lane for the guy or something like that.
You right. You right about that, man.
Okay, so Los Angeles Chargers. We already kind of started talking about their draft. Zion Johnson did feel like a reach. However, I actually love the idea, like we were saying. This is like the anti-Joe Burrow Bengals draft. The Chargers actually have pretty good tackle play, but they needed some
interior linemen.
They needed some big bodies on the inside, and that's what they got.
Yes.
And then I like the idea that with their second pick, they get a safety with corner speed.
In
That's
fact,
just not something that you see a
Woods.
lot of,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, I'm not a Chargers fan really even any longer, but I'm giving this draft for them an A minus.
Okay, I like it. I like it. Isaiah Spiller was a great pickup from Texas A&M.
No
A
doubt.
lot of early mock drafts had him going in top 2 rounds. He fell all the way to fourth, but he's a player. And look, they went out and got some defense. They got defensive offensive tackle. Hey man, I like their top 3 picks. That's what it's about. I'll give them. I'll give them a B. I'll give them a B. I'll give them a B.
All right. Okay. All right. I'm giving an A minus. You're giving them a B. LA Rams. Talk about a team that probably feels like they're poised to repeat. And when I look at this collection of guys from them, it looks like a team that is feeling comfortable with their roster.
Mm-hmm.
They're picking up, like you said, a Big Ten O lineman straight out the gate, and this guy Logan from Wisconsin. I mean, again, they didn't even have a first or second round pick. So for me, for them to be able to get an O lineman to probably replace what's his face, who was like 45 years old, the guy from LSU on their line, Whitworth, right? And then Jacoby Durant. Now that was a guy who everybody was very hype on. That's
Okay.
a guy that everybody was saying is a real playmaker no matter what league he's playing in. So I gotta give these dudes some props because, like the Chargers, I think that the Rams actually have a smart looking draft.
Yeah, they drafted for need and position. So, hey, they locked up Logan Bruss. They got the Kobe Durant. Look, give them a B. For me, Kyron Williams, they needed another running back. I mean, they didn't really because Sonny Michel and Darrell Henderson, they already got, and Cam Akers, they didn't need another running back. But just for the sake of they won a Super Bowl and they filled some holes with the draft, I'll give them a B.
All right, next team up, Miami Dolphins. Now, just like we were saying about the Houston Texans, it seems like the Miami Dolphins are a team a little bit in disarray. It just seems like one side of their squad's going this direction, the ownership is going this direction.
Yep.
They got Tua down there. They got all this stuff going on. Brian Flores. I mean, look, I know that Miami may be a nice place to go and party,
Yeah.
but if you are an NFL football player right now, I mean, how confident are you that your career is in good hands being on the Dolphins?
Hey, look,
Questions.
this is the year. If they don't get it done, Tua is bye-bye. They better get it done this year. You go out and pay for Tyreek Hill. You got Jalen Waddle. You have offense. You got power. You got what? He's a Dolphins fan too, right here. That's a Dolphins fan right there. So, hey, look, I like their signings. I already like the direction the team is going in. This is the year. Make a break for Tua. You gotta get it done. You had a couple of years now where you've been hurt all the time. If you don't look good this year, you can kiss your ass goodbye. I will say their linebacker, another Georgia linebacker, Shannon Tyndall. What's this brother name? Azukama, Eric Azukama. I mean, they just. I mean, I don't. This draft to me looked like an F for me because they only had 4 picks and they made a lot of trades and they made a lot of free agents on it. They going for it all this.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at the Dolphins now, I'm kind of thinking to myself that they're almost kind of just hoping and wishing and praying that Tua can turn into the player that they thought he was.
Yes.
Coming out of Alabama, because I question, honestly, everyone is saying, oh, the Dolphins are going to be a yak factory. They're going to just throw it to the cheetah. They're going to throw it to Jalen Waddle, and these guys are going to take care of the rest. And I mean, they just don't seem to have a realistic approach to what makes for a successful football team in the NFL.
Let's look. They have a solid offense. Mike Gesicki is a beast. Penn State, we are. You know what I mean? He was a great tight end for them last year. Have weapons. It's all about, like my guy say, it's the coaching. Are they going to be able to beat the Buffalo Bills, the New England Patriots, and put themselves in position to make a playoff? I don't know, but they have the talent. They have the talent.
Well, they've certainly been spending a lot of money on talent. A lot of people have been giving them a low grade. I'm going to give them a low grade as well. I'm giving them a D.
Yeah, they get a D for B too.
All right, Minnesota Vikings up next. I never know what to think about the Vikings because of Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins is the epitome of somebody that steals every year. Every year, he's stealing.
I mean, the amount of money that this dude, I know everyone talks about it, but you have to talk about it. The amount of money that this dude has made from being a very, very subpar, sub-mediocre NFL quarterback, it blows my mind.
He is this generation's Jeff George.
That's a great comparison. That is a great comparison.
Hands down. You can play great in the regular season, and when the playoffs come, the guy phony. I never liked Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins won't lead you to a lake to get a drink of water. They have great talent. I'm still hurting that we didn't get Justin Jefferson. That's a whole nother conversation. But yo, I give this draft, I'll give it a B. Lewis signed. He was a beast at Georgia.
No doubt. I like that addition a lot.
I like Andrew Jr. I wanted him here in Philly. He's a monster. I like him, and he dropped from the first round and second round. They got two great defensive players in the second round, and they drafted an offensive lineman, and then with their second round pick. Look, they picked for need, and I see Minnesota had a great draft. I like it. I give them a B.
I'm going to give them a B as well. This dude, Ty Chandler, the running back out of North
Carolina, yes.
Dude's got speed.
Yes, he do.
All right, New England Patriots. Always one of the most intriguing draft classes because it always seems like they're thinking that they know something that no one else does. Although I think recent history would suggest that they don't really maybe know as much as they think they do.
That's why some people should not allow – this look like all Belichick written all over the draft. This is a Belichick-type draft right here.
I agree with that. I agree with that 1,000%. And I was just going to say that the thing that made me – so, like, Belichick has this, extraordinary tenure for all the Super Bowls and for all the games won and for all the things that he does that makes him Bill Belichick. Yes. However, he has not had a successful run at drafting wide receivers.
He cannot evaluate talent at all. No, sir. He is not a talent evaluator.
So the fact that they took this guy, Tyquan Thornton, in the second round, and look, he ran a 4.2. We're talking John Ross speed, but just like John Ross, when's the last time
flamed out. He got out.
Right. And so I was saying to myself, all right, was this just Bill Belichick trying to swing for the fences and get a guy that runs a 4.2, even though he may not be a good football player?
Facts. I look, this draft for me get an F. This was the worst, next to the Cowboys, the worst draft for a team. They didn't do nothing to get Mac Jones some help at the wide receiver position. There were guys that were drafted in the second round they could have got Cole Strange in the third round, people were saying. They went and got him at number in the first round. They reached. That was a reach right there.
I'm with that.
Why did you take a quarterback in the fourth round? Why did you take Bailey Zapp when you have your franchise quarterback, Mac Jones? Why? Why did you need that?
Well, I will say this. One of the things that seems to be the case about Bill Belichick is that the word is he doesn't want literally anyone to be comfortable when they're a player on his team.
I can understand that. It's the master manipulation tactics. I understand that. Mm-hmm. But we have a franchise to run. And your quarterback need talent. And he looked great with lesser talent out there. Hunter Henry is a great tight end. I like Hunter Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Nelson Aguilar, Jacob, what's the other guy? Myers? The guy Myers?
Jacoby Myers.
Kobe Myers. Come on, man. You got to
He's
get
all right.
guys over there for him.
He's a good number 3. He's a good number 3.
But they trying to make him a number 1. He ain't that.
Yeah. Well, they know they need to add playmakers, but it's almost like Bill doesn't want to get a classic playmaker on his squad.
I'm gonna do it my way. He on his Frank Sinatra, man. He want to do it his way or the highway. Right. It's like his. It's like his coaching. He feel like his coaching overweight. He could plug anybody in any position with the system they have, and they're going to be successful. You need talent as well. You need talent. When Randy Moss got there, and you had a sure, legit number 1, who was he? He didn't give effort in Oakland when he was in Oakland, but as soon as he got there, you could see you had talent. Tom Brady. That was the first time Tom Brady had clear-cut talent. They broke records.
They look like a Madden football game. They literally look like a Madden football game.
Come on, man. Come on, man. He's crazy. This draft is an F. F minus.
All right. I'm going to give them a D minus just because I live in Boston right now.
I know, brother. I know.
All right. New Orleans Saints. Now, this is a squad that every year I can't help but kind of like.
Okay.
They seem a little bit like, to me, the Saints seem a little bit like the NFC version of the Ravens.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Where their guys always seem to be getting up for games. You know what I mean? Like the intensity level on the Saints and the intensity level on the Ravens, for whatever reason, it seems higher than the other teams.
Yeah, I can agree with that. That's a good assessment right there. That's a good one.
You know, and so like I think that I just have to believe that these guys. I know that Olave's a player, and all the pre-draft stuff I was reading about this dude Penning is a lot of people are obviously very impressed with him being a guy that can stick in the NFL on the offensive line. And then look, I'm thinking that this dude Taylor, this dude Jackson, and the other guy Jackson are the kind of guys that they want to have in that defensive football side of the ball down in New Orleans.
It fit their profile.
Which are like typically, I mean, look at the guys who they have in their squad. They're guys that play with just a lot of intensity. It's like every single one of these dudes is a guy that you're like, man, I am so happy that guy's on my team and not the other team.
Facts.
So just because I'm a fan of the Saints and because they got maybe who is one of my all-time favorite players in Tyrann Mathieu, Honey Badger.
Yes.
I'm thinking big things for this defense next year.
Okay. Now with Jameis Winston, do you think that they will make a playoff run this year?
I think that they will. I think that Jameis had a lot to show last year before he got injured.
Facts. It's
number one.
Division. The NFC South, it's really no threats out there.
Yeah, and look, I think that Jameis is one of these guys who has always been a little bit of a prodigy throwing the baseball and the football, right?
Facts.
And when a prodigy gets knocked down a notch or two, their whole world kind of gets flipped upside down for a minute. And I think that's what happened to Jameis when he put up some numbers in Tampa Bay, but he's also put up some of the wrong kind of numbers.
Bruce
and
throwing them like us.
Yeah, and then when he goes to the Saints, you know, they're still doing this like Taysom Hill's going to play a little quarterback once in a while. That's distracting. If you're
in $100 million.
Yeah, if you're Jameis Winston, like as good of a teammate you're trying to be, you don't need the Taysom Hill package every other set of downs.
Him $100 million.
Well, not guaranteed all of it, but I'm with you. The contract that they awarded that guy to be, a glorified special teamer is kind of crazy, right?
That
It's obviously crazy.
that's crazy, man. I'll give they
So
I'll give they draft a B because I like what they did with their first 3 draft picks, and they were limited on draft picks, but they got everybody that they were or evaluating. So, and Olave might be one of the best wide receivers in this draft. He's definitely somebody that I had to see a lot for the past 2 years, and he was a monster, man. So that was a great pick. I'll give the Saints a B. I'll give them a B.
I'm going to give them a B as well. All right. So next up, New York Giants. I think that they actually had an interesting draft because, Thibodeau, I think that this guy, it's so strange. Like, you express anything that's outside of the world of football to the media these days. And what do they want to do? They want to jump on it and say that you're distracted,
Yep.
jump on it and say that you don't want to ball. And it's just like, all this guy has ever done since he was playing in Pop Warner in California was ball the hell out.
Hey, man.
So,
Hey, look, they hit on the Thibodeau pick.
no doubt.
I felt as though he should have went number 1 over Trayvon. Over
I mean,
Trayvon all
he
day.
he certainly could have, and I think NFL executives have probably been, who was the guy? Courtney Brown, right?
Yeah. Oh God, Penn State, Courtney Brown. Oh
Right. So
man.
I think a lot of these executives get like scared by the guy, which again, like you look at the dude from Georgia this year, Walker, and you're like, all right, like I don't think he's another Courtney Brown necessarily,
Yeah.
but again, like I think that there's a lot of these edge guys that look the part, kind of have all the measurables, and then you're just wondering, are they going to be just like a beast on third down in the fourth quarter where
Yeah.
the weather's not great and they've been getting beat up by some big tackle all game?
Yeah. 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 I look, Evan Neal. I think he's a monster. Evan Neal was a monster. So they hit on their first 2 picks. Wan'Dale Robinson, that's who I wanted the Patriots to go get. Great receiver at Kentucky. I mean Joshua Azudu. I mean, they went and got an offensive lineman. They went and got offensive pieces to help Daniel Jones, who I feel as though they reached on. But if they got a sure offensive lineman to protect him, the way he can move out of the pocket, they got a good team. But then you got Kayvon Thibodeau, and you already have a nice defense. Yo, I hate the Giants, but they had a great draft. What's my man? Daniel Bellinger, tight end, San Diego State. He could be an impact player for them immediately. Cornerback, Cordell, what's his name? Cordell Flott, LSU. Anybody I feel as though that's drafted SEC, Big Ten, they already ready to be plugged in to play for football. That's how I feel. That's why I'm against the Pac-12 and all that. But they had a great draft for me. They had an A plus for me.
And what do you know? Their last pick, another dude from Cincinnati.
How about, hey, look, Cincinnati been putting guys out this year, man. They had a great year. Hey, and
You know what?
they're having a great year.
I'm happy for their program. Hopefully, this helps them get more recruits, like put more guys in the league.
Hopefully.
All right, so New York Jets up next. Sauce Gardner, one of my favorite players. I think most people love him for his game, for his name. I like the way he plays. He seems like a guy who just is in control of his feet. No missteps.
Facts.
Another guy, not to shift to basketball, but Paul Pierce wasn't the fastest guy. But when you watch his feet on the basketball court, no wasted steps.
None. I'm playing at my own pace. At my own pace. I'm controlling and dictating the pace of the game.
Absolutely. So, look, I think they hit the ball out of the park with these first 4 picks. Because Breece Hall, I don't really like the way he runs. He runs like he's leaning back. It almost looks like his heels are hitting the ground before the balls of his feet.
They say he was the best running back in the draft. So when you hit on my Sauce Gardner, possibly the best cornerback. Garrett Wilson, possibly the best wide receiver in the draft. Jermaine Johnson, who a lot of people felt was one of the best defensive ends in the draft, top 3. You get all 3 of them, plus who people viewed as the best running back in Breece Hall. Then you go out and get Jeremy Ruckert from Ohio State. He was a monster. He was short hands. He can catch. Man, look, I can't say nothing bad about the Jets. That's Joe Douglas, man. Joe Douglas get an A+ from me. They might have had one top 3 draft out of all the teams. That was a top 3 draft right there for a team.
I'm with you. I don't like the Jets. Nothing against Garrett Wilson, but I will say this: the dude definitely has a punch me face. Just straight up, I think he's got a punch me face. But he did seem to kind of impress me last year, certainly more than Darnold did.
Okay.
With kind of like sticking in there, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Facts.
He competed, which gives me confidence that he can, handle all of the pressures that go along with being a quarterback in New York City. So
Facts.
I like this. I like this. I mean, I want to see Salah do well. So yeah, hopefully these guys ball out for him. I'm going to give him an A.
Yeah, they deserve it. They earned it.
All right, here we go. Your team, Philadelphia Eagles. Take it away. Just where are we at with this?
Let's go with the 13th pick. We moved up ahead of Baltimore, who was supposed to get Jordan Davis, 6'6", 341 pounds, a monster out there. You hear me? He's going to be equivalent to what Vince Wilfork, Aaron Donald are for their football teams. I promise you, he might even move ahead of Fletcher Cox career-wise. This might be like one of the gems of the draft. He is a monster. Got to work on his conditioning because he was gassed in the national championship game. But in a defense where we rotate our defensive linemen, we have one of the best defensive lines in football. I love this pick. And come on.
I love the pick as well, and the fact that they were able to get Nakobe Dean in the 3rd round was insane to me.
Man, come on, man. I don't know why, and I said on my podcast of the Good Old Days Sport podcast, you feel me? I from the gate, I like Nakobe Dean, even though he's a smaller guy, but Devin Lloyd and Nakobe Dean were the best linebackers in this draft, and to get him at the 3rd spot in the 3rd round, that was a premium pick. That guy's gonna be playing with a chip on his shoulder. I love it. We haven't had a stout linebacker since I say D'Amico Ryans. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's facts.
Ryans,
no, I mean,
Potter.
and you're talking about a city that when I think about Philadelphia Eagle linebackers, my mind immediately goes to Seth Joyner.
Oh God, come on, man. Seth Joyner, Clyde Simmons, all those guys, man. The Wes Hopkins. Oh my God, that was
making plays.
Making plays. Come on, man. Seth Joyner was an all-time great here. Absolutely.
All right, so obviously you're excited about the AJ Brown pickup. I mean, who wouldn't be?
I mean, the trade and get a 24-year-old number 1 receiver. You know, we messed up on a lot of receivers drafting Nelson Aguilar, drafting Jalen Reagor, who I kill any chance I get. It ain't his fault that the Eagles selected him, but my God,
I'm rooting for Reagor because his father was in the NFL. He's got wheels. It seems like he's kind of been put in a difficult position with other guys that were maybe a little higher on the pecking order, and then now all of a sudden here's Devontae Smith and he can ball, and here's AJ Smith and he can ball. Look, Arcega Whiteside, that dude, that's the guy that's the pick that they wish they had back.
Yeah, come on, man. You draft him over DK and AJ Brown, but they made it right.
They made it right. So I guess, it all just kind of comes down to the fact that, is this the year that their quarterback can prove that he's the guy?
This is it, man. Yo, you got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith opposite with Quay Watkins, great wide receiving core. You got Dallas Goedert, one of the best tight ends in football. Miles Sanders. Come on, man. You have everything at your disposal. Now it's about you. And I'm a Jalen Hurts fan. I believe, listen, man, this guy, look at that card right there, man. Look at that. With the Jerry rookie card, I need that man to turn up this year. So now, come on, man. I love Jalen Hurts. He's gonna be, in my opinion, he's gonna play very well, and he's going to lock up that quarterback position, in my opinion, this year. I believe he got what it takes, and the guys rally around him. They rally around him. The offensive line, even the defense feed off of Jalen Hurts. He's a natural-born leader. He's a leader, and you're going to want to play for him. And then A.J. Brown here, come on, man. A.J. Brown, Devontae, who's going to stop that? Our offense is going to be wide open. What do you want? Pick your poison. Who you double cover? You can't double cover.
I think it'll be very interesting to see if Jalen Hurts puts it all together, because, like you said, I think that Devontae Smith is the real deal. I mean, real deal, right? I don't know how the heck he gets it done. And the other thing that I don't understand watching Devontae Smith on the field is that he's got that Jerry Rice kind of quality.
Yes.
Where he plays way faster on the field in his pads.
Facts. Devontae Smith, his footwork is elite. Elite footwork.
Elite.
It'll give us an A+, man. A+ us for the entire draft, man.
I'm giving the Eagles an A+. I'm giving the Eagles an A+.
Man, listen, man. I love it. Let's go. Fly, Eagles, fly, man.
All right, so Pittsburgh Steelers up next, just going across the way in the state of Pennsylvania there. I like this. I like the draft. I really do actually like the draft. In fact, it wasn't even until their 7th round pick, this linebacker out of Mississippi, it wasn't even until then that I even didn't recognize a guy they got. So they were picking dudes from big schools. Calvin Austin, he ran a legit 4.3 at the combine.
Yes.
I mean, Kenny Pickett. It's weird to me that what was it? Julian Edelman was clowning on Pickett just the other day for wearing the gloves, and Brady wears gloves all the time.
All the time, man. Get out of here, man. Kenny Pickett, backyard homegrown talent. You go out and get him. You go out and get George Pickens, who's a great wide receiver.
And related to Bo Jackson. I did not know that.
That's right. And then you go get DeMarvin Leal. DeMarvin Leal was supposed to be a first-round pick, but he had some off-field issues that led to his dropping. But you got him in the 3rd-round spot. Come on. Calvin Austin, like you said, ran a legit 4.3 in the combine. Connor Hayward, great tight end at Michigan State. Look, they get an A from me. Pittsburgh had a great draft. And Kenny Pickett, he going to acquire everybody that was talking about his hands, being small. That guy could play. And he know that field front and back, playing there. So they needed a quarterback. It was an unfortunate, untimely death for Dwayne Haskins, man, and they needed a quarterback. So that was a great pick for them. They had an A+ draft for me. Pittsburgh had an A draft.
All right, I'm gonna give them a B+. Okay. I'm gonna give them a B+ because I think that it remains to be seen just how well they can protect the quarterback as well. I mean, last year they didn't need to do much because he was able to get the ball out within less than 2 seconds. It seemed like most of the time, even though he wasn't throwing the ball very far downfield. And I know that what they want to do is set up big shots down the field and run the ball with Najee Harris. So, we'll see. But I'm with you. I'll give them a B+. San Francisco 49ers up next. I am always a little bit on my heels when it comes to how to look at the entirety of the San Francisco 49ers team. Because Shanahan, you can't say that he's not a good coach. He's been to too many Super Bowls. He's won too many games. The guy obviously knows how to scheme up an offensive side of the football.
Thanks.
However, I just question again, like when we were talking about these teams throwing darts, it's like, do they really think that they can just kind of just mash all these kinds of guys together and just make it work. It seems like they've gotten into the habit of making things work because of Jimmy G. You know?
Yeah, I mean, for with the system they have, I feel as though they know how to. They have a legit, solid system. They could plug any running back in with that offensive line. That's why Raheem Mostert was getting off, and look, they have a solid foundation. So I like Drake Jackson at USC. He could have been a first round talent. He has first round talent. They got him in the second round. Todd Davis Price was a good running back at LSU. That was a great pick for them. Danny Gray. Don't know too much about Danny Gray, but I mean, with the issues you have with Debo Samuel, that was probably their pick of trying to protect that, just in case they had to make a trade to get rid of Debo. Who's looking for a contract, and who, in my opinion, he deserves a contract. In my opinion, he did. Everybody else that got paid, especially out his draft class, that man deserves a contract. He deserves a
yeah, without a doubt. Well, I think that no question, number one, Debo deserves all the money that's out there for him. Playmaker, I think every roster in the NFL right now would want a Debo Samuel on their team.
Facts.
But I think that because Kittle already got paid, I think that's going to put teams like the 49ers in a position where you're going to end up seeing one of the two always end up on another squad.
Okay. Facts.
Because I think that I am waiting for something to kind of change right now in the NFL, because the fact that the salary ceiling has gotten as high as it's gotten, and you're now seeing these quarterbacks make $50 million in a season. Where does the other guys on the roster come in?
I don't know, man. Look, man, everything is going up. The wide receiver market went up this year.
Yeah.
You seen everybody that's paying $100 million contracts out like it's candy. So, hey, hopefully, I'm hoping the salary cap go up, so that maybe you can at least balance out the money, because the NFL is getting money every year. They the largest out of all the sports. They get the most money. They got the most endorsements.
Absolutely.
They get it all. So hopefully the salary cap raises so that people could keep their team intact. Like Pat Mahomes' contract, the way he got it structured, it was enough money. Should have been. That's why he had his contract structured the way it was, so that they could spend money in other areas to keep the team together. I would have gave Tyreek Hill his money, but I guess they felt as though they couldn't give it to him. But man, this is the new era of the quarterbacks. Guys is getting paid. Kirk Cousins.
It's the new era, and I think it becomes as much of a gamble as anything else when you invest that much in one player, whether he's on the offensive side or the defensive side. It just means that money that he's making is going to come at the expense, quite literally, of the other players on the roster around that one guy.
Okay, I can with that.
So it's going to be an interesting one to see where these teams can go. Like the Packers. I mean, how sustainable is it to be paying a guy $50 million?
It ain't, man. And look,
it ain't.
We're gonna see.
We're gonna see. But I'm with you. I like Jake Jackson. And some of these other guys that the 49ers picked up, they typically seem to be a squad that goes off of a lot of measurables. I mean, what was it? A couple years back when Matt Breida and Mostert were both like dudes that were running low 4.3 40s. They like guys that can move. And to be honest, I actually think that this guy they got, Mr. Irrelevant this year, the last pick in the draft, Brock Purdy, and he was kind of a baller at Iowa State.
He was out there getting busy.
He was all right. But I feel like some of those kinds of dudes, one guy gets hurt, and next thing you know. I'm interested to see what their young quarterback does. I mean, I think that he's got all the pieces around him.
Yeah.
I just think that it seems like the Niners have gotten accustomed to being like, well, look, Jimmy G only needs to throw the ball 5 times in a game.
That ain't
So
no Super Bowl, man. You're not gonna win no Super Bowl like that. You gotta
you're
air
not
that
going to win a Super
out.
Bowl that way. And look, everybody can see that Trey Lance can throw the hell out of the ball.
Yes.
And I'm interested to see what he does. I mean, he looked great in preseason, so guess we'll have to see.
We'll see.
All right, so Seattle Seahawks. This is a team right now where it feels like to me they are caught in their glory days, but all their guys are now gone. It's kind of a sad
It's
situation if you
sad.
ask me.
It's sad. Hey man, the only one left is DK and look, I mean, Tyler Lockett, is he still on part of Seattle?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, but I mean, it's over. That regime is done. Russell Wilson is gone. That is it. So, I mean, Charles Cross, he could be a great offensive lineman. Boy, Boye Mafe from Minnesota. He looked like he was going a solid edge rusher. I mean, Kenneth Walker I liked a lot at Michigan.
I like a lot.
I liked him at Michigan State. He's a great running back. He had a lot of Heisman hype early in the season until after they start losing after that Michigan loss, and then they faltered. But he's a great running back. Seattle got talent. I mean, I'll give it a B. I'll give it a B.
I'll give it a B. This dude, Bo Melton, is an interesting story. Guy's got some measurables as well.
Okay.
For a smaller dude, he can go. But yeah, I look at this team and I say to myself, I mean, where do they think they're going to get the talent to level up to these other teams in their conference?
Yeah.
It just seems like it's just not there.
It's a rebuild. And this is all about a rebuild right now.
I would agree with that. All right, so Tampa Bay, a lot of people seem to care so much about these guys because of Tom Brady these days. I mean, I will say this. This guy, they got Logan Hall with their top pick.
Yes.
I like this guy.
Beast. He's an animal. That's a great pick for them. I like it too. They drafted Jake Camarda, the punter from Georgia. He was a great punter, national championship winner. They drafted offensive line help for Brady. Luke Godecki from Central Michigan. They drafted for need right here. Rashad White from Arizona State. I mean, they went out and got another tight end. Cade Otton. Hey, look, I mean, they just, for what they had, they only had 2 2s, a 3, 2 4s, a 5, a 6, and a 7. They had to make do with what they had, but it looked like they hit on the guys that they wanted. And like you said, that Logan Hall pick, that was a great pick. I'll give them a C for this draft.
Yeah, I'm with that. I'll give him a C. I don't see any immediate difference makers, but at the same time, I think that they've done so well by keeping a lot of guys on that D line. And even if they end up losing a guy like Sue,
yeah,
the
plug
I think that they
else right in, man. They good.
Yeah, exactly right.
Sue
exactly
not the guy he used to be. He on the decline, man. But yeah, they could easily plug somebody in there. They'll be fine. I like I said, they get a C from me.
I give them a C as well.
Okay.
All right. So this next group, the Titans, I love this draft. No, really? Come on.
Man, you gotta pay that man. You gotta pay AJ. The problem is you gave Tannehill that money. He's a bum. He's another guy stealing money. I'm doing this to Tannehill. He's a nut. I don't like.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. But I do like, really, honestly, I really like their top 2, 3, 4, 5 picks. I don't know enough about the tight end from Maryland.
Yeah.
But I will say that from Treylon Burks all the way down to Haskins,
he was a monster. Yes.
They got guys that can play.
Malik Willis, to get him 2 in the 3rd round, 1st round talent, possibly. You got him in the 3rd round. Roger McCreary, he is a solid cornerback.
I
Like,
love McCreary.
come on, they had a great draft. They
They had
definitely
a great draft. I mean, and look, I wonder if the Titans. I agree with you about the AJ Brown decision. I don't know how you let a guy like that walk from your squad. You just don't. You
now
just don't.
pressure of Treylon that make the same production that he was bringing, and hopefully Burks can handle the pressure. I hope so. You know what I mean? You still have that stout running game, but you need to make plays. You got to, and hopefully he's the guy, because they say they see a lot of similarities between him and AJ Brown. So we'll see. We'll see. But I'll
Yeah,
give this
look,
draft a B. Look, I love the Malik Willis pick. There will
I
be
love I
times
love the Malik Willis pick, and I was going to add that I wonder. There's something in that decision making process by seeing a guy like AJ Brown walk, and right where maybe they said to themselves, well, if we pay a wideout all this money, we're not going to have anything left over for the other parts of the squad or whatever. But it wouldn't shock me to see Tannehill off this roster in one year.
listen, bro. Like I said, I might see Tannehill get put out the game or yanked, because what he did in that playoffs, man, nobody gonna forget that the way he played. He look, he is the epitome of. My bad, I'm back. He's in the same class as a Kirk Cousins, man. That guy's
Yeah.
trash, man. I look, man. I'm rooting for Malik Willis to take his job, man.
Absolutely. Hey, look. Everybody says that Malik Willis is one of those guys that just everybody who meets him loves him. Walks into a room, owns a room. This is what everybody was saying. I was shocked to see him fall the third round. I
Facts,
could not believe it. I could not believe it.
facts. Me too.
So, I mean, look. I guess all you can say is hopefully they put in a situation around him where it's conducive to him having some early success as a young guy in the league.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think that it'll be interesting. I am at least intrigued. I'm with you on the Tannehill commentary as well. Hopefully, Willis has got a situation that he can step in and make some things happen for himself.
Foul everybody and get that bum out. And you know what? A lot of those guys are going to rally around Malik Willis. Mark my words. Mark my words.
I'm with that. I'm with that. All right. So Washington Commanders. This is the final analysis here in the 2022 draft recap. So take it away. They picked your boy Dotson out of We Are.
Fast, Mr. Speed. This brother got route running ability. He could beat you right over the top how you want it. Go in the slot. I'm getting calls and stuff. But I like Jahan Dotson. He came from Penn State, of course. The guy's one of the fastest receivers out there. He make plays. He's going to open the field up for those guys. What's his name? For Darian Mathis, another. She keep calling. So Darian Mathis. They got him in the second round. Brian Robinson Jr., a running back. He was a solid running back at Alabama. I like him. That was a good pickup for him. Percy Butler. I don't know about him, but Sam Howell. That was a
Sam Howell can ball.
Yes, he is. That's he looked like Baker Mayfield out there. Pilot, what's up? Money, what's up? He could ball out there. He could ball out there. That was a great pickup, because there's going to be a point in time where they might need to bench Carson Wentz. So that will happen. That will happen.
I was going to say that out of all the players that got picked at a place where it was much lower than I thought they would go, I think Sam Howell is top of that list for me, because prior to the beginning of last season's college football year, a lot of people were saying that he was the best quarterback in college football, or at least one of them.
They were.
Right?
They were.
And the fact that his offense lost, I think, like 3 top playmakers from it. Obviously, the running back that went to the Jets, They had a couple wideouts that were real good. And he kind of put the team on his shoulders. And to be honest, I didn't even realize that that dude could move and run the ball the way that he can as well.
Man, he looked like Baker Mayfield out there. This is one thing I'll say about him. He know how to play. He knows how to play. And he's somebody that can throw. He got good arm strength to be his size. And look, if you put him in the right system, if you play to his strengths, he could be a solid quarterback for you. He could be a solid quarterback. So I like it. Will be a point in time where he's going to get in the field during the regular season. Guaranteed. I promise you, he will come in for Carson Wentz at a point in this.
Give me an estimation as to what week? Week 10 or before week 10?
Week 5.
Week 5.
Week 5.
Oh, all right. Okay. We gotta revisit that prognostication because that's a bold take.
Week 5, baby. That man going to choke because he had a good year, but there's a lot of pressure. This your third team in 33 years. It's a lot of pressure on you, bro. Colts didn't even want you back. That I wonder why. You're it.
Right.
This is it for Carson Wentz. Make a break, and he's going to break. He's going to break.
No, look, I like Sam Howell. I would love to see him step in. I think it'd be exciting. I like the other guys they have on their squad. And, obviously, I think it goes without saying that if you were on the Washington's team, the Commanders, and you suddenly realize that now Wentz is your starter.
Yep.
Man, I don't know how good that would make me feel.
We gonna see. He's a choke artist, man. That's what he's known for. Now, I loved him when he was here, but his last couple of years when he started feeling himself, he was very arrogant, thinking he was the shit, and he thought he had the ownership in his pocket so he could be a certain way inside the locker room that soured guys from him. Listen, life will humble you. This is your third football team in 3 years. You better turn up or you're done. You're going to be a backup. You're done after this.
Well, look, I think that obviously, one, time will tell. Two, hopefully your Eagles are mopping up the Commanders this upcoming season.
We're going to mop them up, man. Nobody's stopping us. We winning our division, man. Let's go. EAGLES, Eagles.
All right. Okay. So we've got two bold calls from you. We've got Eagles winning the division this upcoming season.
Yes.
Which I think absolutely that is a very, very possible outcome. I think it all basically depends on, is Dak going to live up to who Dak has been?
Dak going to choke in December. You know what he like to do in December.
And then the other take that you had was Sam Howell or maybe another quarterback stepping in for Wentz week 5.
Week 5, baby.
All right. Look, that's a bold call. We'll see if you're right.
Look, man, I don't like the guy, so I have a bit of biasness, but at least I'm being honest.
Yeah, and look, and no, I'm with you, and Dotson and some of these other guys that got. I mean, I'm interested. I like seeing a team play with energy. The last thing I want to see is one of these NFL franchises where everybody knows that the quarterback is a dead man walking and the guys don't want to play for him.
Yep.
Because that just makes for bad football. That just makes for bad
television. Yes, it will, man.
So
we talking about a guy that choked against the Jaguars last game to get in.
Oh my God. It's true. It's true. Well, yo, Andre, this was great. This was the culmination of our inaugural draft recap. We gotta run it back next year.
We're definitely gonna run it back. You already know, man.
All right. Well, yo, have a beautiful weekend.
Hey, you do the same, man. And go Sixers. Watch out for us.
Hey, no doubt. I'm happy to see Embiid back out there. That dude that dude's a real one.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is, man. He's ours. Philadelphia, baby. Let's go, man. Let's go.
All right, well, go Sixers and go Celtics.
All right, well, yeah, go Celtics too. All right, go.
All right, my man.
All right, bro. You take it easy, man.
All right, we'll talk soon.
All right.
All right, peace.